Broadcasting live, right? We're very live. We're extremely live from the America First Media Campus, the home of the loud majority. This is We Will Not Comply.
Good morning, my neighbors.
We are very excited for a very interesting day, a very stressful day, a very important day, a monumental decision in the course of the history of the state of New York.
What a week.
There is, I thought I was going to be more excited this morning, and I am excited. I'm just really, really tired.
What a week. I mean, holy crap. How the hell is it only Friday?
It feels like we've gone through 3 or 4 weeks already this week.
This is why, guys, I woke up Monday morning, and I'm like, I'm really excited because Friday I'm going to Miami for Project Veritas's book launch. I'll be down with all the guys there, Madison Cawthorn, Matt Gates, James O'Keefe. I was very excited. And then all this happened. There were teachers throwing children, and there was mandates coming in, coming out. And there were stays. What the hell? I don't even know what's going on.
Jackie DiLorenzo goes, "Hey, you're wearing the green hoodie." Yeah, I finally got one, folks. I finally got one because they've been selling so well. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves them.
Yeah, Sean,
everybody. Wait. Let's say thank you, Heather. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants them.
Man, thank you, Heather. Literally, at one point last week, this is a little inside baseball.
Oh, man.
Sean walks up to the box of hoodies, and he's like, "Oh, you got any larges left?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Greens.
I'm like, "Yeah, they're in that box." He grabs one out of the box.
I'm getting ready to put it on.
The laptop bings, and I'm like, "Nope, you don't get one."
He goes, "Give me that."
You don't get one.
I said, "What do you mean, give me that?" He goes, "We just sold it." I went, "How is it that we make these hoodies and I still don't have one?" So I finally have one, and I'm not taking it off.
I'm not going to give the chat the satisfaction of me wearing one because I know.
You look
like an olive. Oh,
we can call you Granny Smith Apple because your last name is Smith. Why did they just give us all the Smiths? He's going to spit the coffee out. Look at the face. Oh, he came close.
Yeah, so.
I wanted if you were spitting, I was getting you on camera.
Come on. I am a professional here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
Oh, man. What a day. What a day we have here today. Holy moly.
So apparently Sean Spicer is a fan of you.
Yes, that was a fun time last night, Sean Spicer.
And big thank you to Kristen Thorne over at ABC.
Huge thank you.
Eyewitness News. Look, guys, I know a lot of you guys were upset with the media coverage of the Dennison building. Look, the people that come down, the field reporters, I know one of them very personally, one of my oldest friends. It has to go through like 6 layers before it gets to television. And they have to cut things, and they have to add things, and it's got to fit in time slots. So a lot of people didn't get the images or the shots or their interviews up like they would have wanted. Here's the point, and I was telling one of the guys down here at the Dennison building about this. We need these local outlets, no matter what you think of them, whether they're fake news or they don't do this or they're biased or whatever the hell you think. We need them to come down. So if you see a CBS reporter down at one of our events, could we maybe not abuse them so much?
The reporters are usually not the problem.
It's the
editors and all those people.
It's all the people that haven't reported on a damn thing in a decade, and they sit in their corner office and they chit-chat. Those are the people that are the problem.
Right.
The people on the ground,
they're generally on our side.
They're
seeing the issues, right? I mean, there was a gentleman who has been coming and covering us from News 12 for quite some time, and he was there at Riverhead yesterday, and I got to tell you, I mean, he was being about as fair and as informative as you can. I mean, he actually went over to students who were counter-protesting us, believe it or not, and he said, "Hey, you guys want to give us a piece of your mind or whatever, and everything like that." And he actually challenged them a little bit. He said, "Hey, not for nothing, but don't you believe everybody deserves the choice?" And he's not editorializing or anything like that.
I can't promise I'll be nice to Kevin Vassie. All right.
Kevin Vassie, okay, fine.
All right,
fine, whatever.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that one.
All right, whatever. So,
if you see Kristen Thorne, be nice.
Exception everywhere. Kristen Thorne's fantastic. I forget the gentleman's name from News 12. Ed, who comes down from News 12. He's really good. It's not him. He's not the issue. He even said to me at the Dennison building, he gave me a much larger number than what made it into the News 12 story. It's not him. It's the people at News 12 that decide they want to squash the whole thing.
They don't write the chyrons on the bottom. They don't write the lower third. And look, particularly on this issue, you got to understand, a lot of these people have kids.
Right.
They don't want them in mass either.
Exactly.
But there's only, they have to, local news isn't cable news.
Right.
Kristen Thorne from ABC isn't Don Lemon, where you can just give your opinion. A lot of these people are just telling you kind of what happened.
Right, exactly.
And maybe their numbers weren't right, and maybe they didn't use the shots we would have wanted, or, they didn't give too much credit to the people that put it together.
Right.
But, I appreciate them coming down, and, like I said, a lot of these people are on our side on this particular issue. I don't really, I don't care if they don't like Donald Trump. The other day wasn't about that. It was about, and, these people don't want their 8-year-olds in mass either. They don't want their daughters going to prom in a mask. They want to go watch their son's high school basketball game. So, thank you to Channel 2, Channel 5.
Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel 7. Channel 11, PIX was there.
And News 12.
And News 12 were there. And, so thank you for covering it. The fact that
something other than the weather was on News 12,
Yeah.
finally. I don't need to see Rich Hoffman every 4 minutes.
Well, I have to say, the weather's going to be very interesting over the next couple of days. There is going to be a Trump weather forecast today because we are expecting lots of snow. We're talking about more snow. More snow, quite frankly, I think, than we've ever seen before. More snow than Hunter Biden after a night with Chinese President Xi, okay? And you talk about a different type of snow. But it looks the same. And it's an interesting thing what's happening. We're going to get buried. I think we're going to get buried. And quite frankly, it's going to be something that we talk about for a long time. So there will be a Trump weather forecast later. I'll play around with the green screen. We'll do some stuff. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I think we might try out the locals on that one.
We could do locals. We could do like a blooper reel, throw up on locals. Hey, there's been some support going to locals. Thanks to people.
I want to thank everybody who signed up over on the locals to help support us. It's only
loudmajority.locals.com. That's it, man. It's fun.
Loudmajority.locals.com. That's going to be where all of our blooper reels go, our behind-the-scenes stuff when we get silly here.
Yeah.
We just set up a green screen, so there's really we moved the green screen for those people who watch the behind-the-scenes.
Yes.
But that's where all of our fun stuff is going to be. That's where I'm allowed to say naughty words.
Naughty.
I'm allowed to say very bad words on
Not
locals.
nice words.
So that's loudmajority.locals.com. It's guys, it's $5 a month. It just whatever you can do.
Loudmajority.locals.com. And let me just focus group something out here because I love to ask the chat and get everybody's reaction. But if we were to post like behind the scenes, like in the makings type of videos, like maybe
Sean yelling at me.
Right, but like I say, 5-10 minutes of us before we get live on the show and just upload that to locals. I would think hopefully that'd be something that you would be interested in watching, just to kind of see a behind the scenes look, uncensored, some of the chaos, honestly, because there's some really funny stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and we'd love to share that with you. And obviously it's a premium content, so you know what you're buying, and there may be profanity and there may be silliness in there. So if you're watching content on locals, you may want to do that outside, away from your kids.
Away from the kids, because
in certain circumstances. Everything everything free that we put up for public consumption, we like to do, nicely, family friendly. But we know there's an audience out there that wants to see Loud Majority uncensored, and so you can pay for that. And we're gonna kind of like HBO, right? It's a $5 a month on loudmajority.locals.com. And we'll just upload a lot of content, and soon, and it's going to start with a wide range of content, and we'll see what hits better. And then as we see how much people like certain content, we'll focus in on different types. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a conservative space. We can't be censored there. That's the most important thing. It's part of the parallel economy, so let's have some fun in locals.
It's we put up a 5.5 minute long video of you
just messing with a scammer.
Of you just messing with a scam. Somehow you got him on the phone for 5.5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Pepper, for dropping that in the chat.
Yes.
Very good. But, that's going to be awesome. Another big one, guys. Monday. We're going to be up in Albany on the Capitol steps with our friend, Congressman, next governor, call him whatever you want, Lee Zeldin. This comes straight from the top, guys. We got to make this one huge. And we've been putting it out everywhere. We're going to drop the flyer today. If you guys can put it in all your groups, all your upstate groups, let's make this huge. Let's show Congressman Zeldin that, we have impact on Long Island, but we also have impact statewide.
That's correct. Big shout out to, once again, from yesterday, Noah from Riverhead. I received lot of.
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
I'm voting for that kid for something very soon.
Well,
not very soon. Isn't he a freshman?
Freshman in high school, and comes on the way he carried himself yesterday.
That kid's got stones like.
And he's incredible, and a lot of the parents were fired up. A lot of the students were fired up because of what he was doing. And just to break it, wrap it one more time and kind of recap it, Noah from Riverhead decided he was not wearing a mask anymore. On Tuesday, when it was unconstitutional to enforce the mandate, he took the mask off. They put him in a conference room, gave him donuts and whatnot. On Wednesday, he did it again while the stay was in place. They called his father to come pick him up, and he told his dad, no, we're not leaving. And all of his friends did the same thing. They had about 20 kids participating in the sit-in yesterday. I don't know what the story's going to be like today, but I know that he's not giving up, and it's inspiring because he wants all, and we say the other children and other people who want to stand up for what they believe in, let's go Noah. This kid's a pioneer. He's leading from the front. We've been waiting for some of the students to take charge in this situation because eventually they're going to have to fight back too, and he's unapologetically joining the fight. And it inspires me because I can tell you what, in ninth grade, I wouldn't have been caught dead doing anything like that. That would have been no chance. I wasn't brave like that.
I wouldn't have done it on principle. I would have done it just to be a pain in the ass.
Right.
Really?
Really?
I've got to wear a mask. Watch me not do that.
He's out there and doing a great job.
There's a lot of administrators at Comac who are very, very happy that I am no longer a student there.
And I see a lot of comments in the chat about Middle Country. I went to Middle Country's board meeting Wednesday night, and I will tell you, you have got Middle Country. I'm going to help you. I'm going to do what I can. I think we just lost YouTube. I don't know what happened. There's no way they shut us down. I guess I'll have to check.
Say anything.
Wow, man, we didn't even say anything this time.
We're back.
We're back. Okay, never mind.
All
We
right.
saw the numbers pop. All right, we're back.
All right, we're back. Mike's on. Frances on the fan.
Mike's on. Frances on the fan. Okay. With the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. How are you? Okay, Michael, I'm doing great. I know you got me elected. It was a great thing. Anyways, now we're going Dr. Fauci. Now we're going into all the voices are coming out because crazy times happening.
This is why you guys got to sign up for locals because Sean didn't leave here until about 2 a.m. last night.
Man.
Because
I was looking up the judge that's hearing this case today. I mean, look at me.
I gotta say, you look as similar as you usually do.
Yeah.
Not great.
Full of energy. Oh, excuse me. Let's just make an amendment to the Constitution here. Look at this face. Not great. How are you going to tell me I don't look great? Are we get that? We're going to get that guitar over here. We're going to start singing Shallow in a second.
First off, mister, I want to pretend to be Bradley Cooper. I have asked you to do that numerous times, but you don't seem to want to do it.
Well, you know what?
Another big announcement tonight.
Oh, yes, tonight.
Tonight. At the America First Warehouse, the live filming of That Show Tonight with Michael Loftus. Come on down. If there's still tickets available, I'm not sure if there are, but check it out. Don't miss it. It's going to be hilarious. We filmed some content for him yesterday.
So funny.
So silly.
So funny.
So silly.
Working with Mike is so much fun, Michael Loftus, because he's just hilarious. Like on the spot, he just says stuff, and it's fun when you work with people that are just kind of being spontaneously goofy with you because that's how these accidental content, Arby's was accidental. A lot of the funny stuff that we do is accidental. Your Taco Bell order, nobody knew that was going to be hysterical when we did that. The McDonald's one a couple of weeks earlier. Remember we did the McDonald's one right when we were talking to the Smithtown people and you got I want 3 McChickens. No, 2 McChickens, right? I don't want to, Twitter, I'm sorry. I want 2 McChickens with no lettuce. And a lot of the funny stuff happens on accident. To be honest with you, it's not really written. So working with Mike, he's over there. He's bouncing words off his. Right now, it was great. It was
so check him out.
Mike, the Loftus Party and That Show Tonight.
Yeah, you guys know him. You've seen him on Gutfeld all the time. We're gonna be rocking and rolling with that one. So
yeah, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. It's gonna be a good time.
We're working with Jim Brewer.
Yes.
Of Saturday Night Live in the early '90s. You guys, he did Joe Piscopo. If you guys are fans of the Stoner film, obviously he was in Half Baked.
Half Baked
with Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies of all time. And he took a stand against the vaccines and said he's not going to perform anywhere that requires vaccine passports. And that's a good thing about comedians that stand up is that they're uncancelable.
Based.
It's
based.
Like Bill Burr likes to say, he goes, what are you going to do? Come protest me at a strip mall in Topeka, Kansas? What are you going to do? So comedy is the last bastion of free speech. And, and that segues into the fact that for some reason, Neil Young, who I'm going to be honest with you, if Neil Young punched me in the face I don't think I would know who he was.
Yeah.
Neil Young went to Spotify and
He's
said,
touching you, touching me. He's the Andrew Cuomo
no,
theme song.
that's Neil Diamond.
Oh, that's Neil Diamond.
That's Neil Diamond.
Wait, so who is Neil Young?
He's another Neil.
Not Neil Armstrong and not Neil Diamond.
Not Neil Armstrong. Not look. I went on YouTube and I looked up his 2 most popular songs. I swear to God, I've never heard of them. And I like music. I'm not like one of these people that doesn't know that music started before 1996. Like Neil Young goes to Spotify and he says, "You either take Joe Rogan off your platform, or you take me off your platform." And Spotify said, there's the door, bro. Really? I guess Neil Young overestimated the amount of Spotify users who still drive carpeted vans.
No offense.
No, Ponytail Mike, you're different.
You're different.
But literally, they were like, oh, Joe Rogan, 11 million views. Some guy who hasn't been relevant since, I don't know, Nixon was in office.
We keep getting confused with other people with the same first name.
Yeah, literally, I think you're someone else. I think I was singing your song at Fenway Park in the 8th inning.
Apparently, Neil Young is a dried prune, according to somebody on the chat. Listen, I'm not even a Joe Rogan fan. You know, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't listen to his show. I don't go to him for any politics. I'm not saying he's not entertaining. I don't care if you do or don't. But I even know that Joe Rogan is so big and influential right now, and that Neil Young, I mean, I'm sure there are people in the chat who know who Neil Young is and listened to his music at one point. And
we are just not one of them.
We're not one of them. And honestly, I got to be honest, the people who are using Spotify, that demographic, probably don't know who Neil Young is either, or the majority of them really don't care. It's not going to change your life if he is taken off the platform. It would affect more people if Joe Rogan was deplatformed from Spotify than Neil Young.
I mean, think about it.
Spotify's seeing that now. So, idiot Neil Young. These what's the other thing too? These celebrities who think they're so important.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, it's just like you're not. You're Neil Young, dude. Like, you were a thing at some point. You're not a thing anymore, and now you're gone from Spotify, the #1 music app in the United States. Congratulations, you canceled yourself. This is what I'm excited about. Yes. Cancel culture is imploding on itself, where they're canceling themselves now. If you don't cancel them, you have to cancel me. Okay, you canceled, Neil. And goodbye. It's one small step for man. Goodbye.
And here's the thing that a lot of people in the mainstream don't understand about a Joe Rogan. It's that Joe Rogan, right? So Tucker Carlson has the highest rated show in cable news.
And that's incredible.
He gets about 3.5 million viewers a night for an hour-long show. Joe Rogan gets 11 million viewers for a 3-hour-long show. 11 million for a 3-hour. His average viewer is 23 years old. If you've worked in television, if you've worked in radio, if you've worked in media in any capacity, they cannot physically understand how this is possible. How you could have 11 million viewers in the demo, in the 21 to 52 range. They don't understand how he did it. And you know how he did it? By just talking to people. That's it. Some people are on there I like. Some people. Yesterday, he had on a spear fisherman, and they were crying about the first time they were connected with nature when they went hunting for white-tailed deer. Right. This is the man that's ruining the earth. He's vaccine disinformation. He's talking to a spear fisherman. What? Just use a rod like a regular person. Or he talks to Jesse Itzler about running really far. He talks to marathon runners. And yeah, he does politics. He has people on there I don't particularly like. He has Kyle Kulinski on. I'm not a fan of his. He had Bernie Sanders on. I don't really like him. He has Ben Shapiro on. I'm a fan of his. He talks to anyone who's interesting. That's it. Mostly comedians. Basically, his platform is to basically make Joey Diaz more famous, which is fine because Joey Diaz is the funniest person alive. But to see the boomers out there, and I got yelled at the other day for saying this, but Spotify went to Neil Young and said, "Okay, boomer, see you later."
That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
You're not supposed to say that.
It's mind blowing.
You're not supposed to say, "Okay, boomer."
I know I'm not supposed to say.
You're gonna get yelled at today.
It's just a mind blowing thing to watch someone who hasn't been relevant in 45 years try to take down, quite frankly, the biggest name in culture right now. Whether you like Rogan or not, it's impossible to deny his impact.
Oh, you can't deny it. I'm not a Rogan fan, but I'm not an idiot either. I mean, sometimes I'm an idiot.
I mean,
I'm
look,
a Jet fan.
I say it all the time. I didn't like Derek Jeter.
But he was great.
I'm a Met fan, but
Brady.
But you have to respect the institution of what he built. I'm not here. We're not here right now in the podcast realm without a Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the Babe Ruth. Oh well, Carolla's the Babe Ruth of podcasting. So I guess Rogan would be the Joe DiMaggio of podcasting. The alternate universe.
He played for 62 years. Joe DiMaggio played baseball for 62 years. I didn't realize that.
According to Mike Francesa.
According to Mike, okay, Joe DiMaggio, 1942. Joe DiMaggio, 1981.
Once again, guys, just head on over to loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. Hit that follow button on Facebook. We're like 140 away.
We're so close
from 20,000, and this has been grinding my gears for like a week and a half now.
Yeah, we're so close.
Guys, if you think you're followed but you're not really sure, go on over. Hit that follow button right at the top of the page. Head on over to Loud Majority. Long Island Loud Majority on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, share this out to your friends. Smash it. LoudMajorityUS.com. Sign up for the newsletter so you never miss out on anything that we have going on. And we've got a lot.
We got a lot going on.
Particularly after this weekend. I think I may be going live from Miami.
The project.
I may be going live from Miami with a friendly face. We're going to see if I can work that out.
See what we can do.
See what we can do. Either way, there's going to be big news coming out of Miami this weekend.
There's going to be a snowstorm tomorrow. Going to be excited. Maybe building the America First igloo. I think that's going to be a fun time. Yes, that is in the works. Maybe a live stream from the Eskimo headquarters of Long Island. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but I'm excited about today.
Anybody that wants to help Sean build the igloo, just shoot us an email. And if you're not insane, we'll let you know.
And put in the subject igloo ! Like igloo. That's what it needs to be.
that content will be on long.
There'll be a
loudmajority.locals.com.
The construction of the igloo, the entire construction of the igloo from start to finish. If there's actually an igloo being built, we will have it on Locals.
It's going to be fantastic.
We'll put something together. It's going to be huge. Nobody builds things, especially igloos, like I do. Nobody knows more about being an Eskimo than me, and I've experienced the cult a lot. Okay, I've experienced the cult a lot more than you'd think. This is a very important day. He's making a face.
Yeah, it's an important day because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah, we're going. Oh, he goes. Oh, he's escaping to Florida. Oh, he's escaping to Florida where it's cold, it's warm out. Oh, Miami's only going to be 45 degrees.
I'm going to be freezing my ass off.
There you go. Well, we're excited about today because obviously we have a huge decision coming down, and it's a very. Look, this decision is going to be something that is it has implications beyond schools, beyond just masks. This has implications for the entire state, and so we want to talk about that. Why did Judge Rademacher rule in favor of Chad LaVeglia, Michael Demetrio, and override or strike down the governor's mandate? And again, it's important to stress the reason why he did this. And there are articles. I'm looking to see if I could find some of the ones where his ruling is quoted. But one of the most important things to realize about what Rademacher's ruling was, the Supreme Court judge out of North Carolina, Nassau County, one of the most important things to realize what he did was he struck it down on process, right? He never questioned the efficacy of masks. He never questioned the scientific data of masks. This is the judge. He never questioned whether they work or not, or whether they're appropriate or not, or anything about the CDC. It's very important. It's very important. And that the judge down in Brooklyn is not Obama appointed. I want to be very clear. I stayed up till 2 a.m. researching this. The judge's name is the Honorable Robert J. Miller, and he was appointed by David Patterson in 2010 to his current position here in New York. So the judge was not an Obama appointee. He was not a Clinton appointee. He was an appointee from David Patterson, who, to be honest with you, David Patterson was not one of the worst governors. I mean, he was a Democrat, but he wasn't like this lady that we're dealing with now.
Presidents don't appoint state judges.
Yeah.
Governors appoint state judges. So it could not be an Obama appointee. It couldn't be a Trump appointee. And frankly, if he's been there for a while, like you said, probably a David Patterson, probably. And frankly, Patterson came in after he rode the Pataki wave. And Governor Patterson wasn't all that bad.
He wasn't awful.
He certainly had a sense of humor.
He was.
SNL did too. After Fred Armisen made fun of him on SNL,
they killed him on SNL.
That didn't go very well. Turns out hey, Fred Armisen, don't make fun of blind people.
Yeah, not a good idea.
You idiot.
It was kind of funny though.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
A little funny. Locals.
Yeah.
So, again, this ruling has a lot of implications. It's got implications throughout the state, throughout different constitutional arguments too. It's a very interesting, his ruling, right? So again, he was never ruling on the efficacy of masks. He was never ruling on, whether they work or anything like that. He was ruling on the process. And he basically said to take out of his ruling the issues surrounding whether or not masks work and to just focus on the process. And when you look at the process by which these mandates were enacted and signed into what they're referring to as law, right? Because I don't believe these are laws. And we had the ruling from Judge Rademacher. The process was screwed up, really. I mean, you have a governor using state agencies to set and put forth regulations that was being treated like legislation, okay? She was attempting to legislate via regulation, right? We say legislate, don't regulate, all right? Why don't we come up with some stuff like that? That's exactly what was going on. She was legislating by regulating, and that's the biggest issue, and that's the issue that Rademacher had with the way the mask mandates, not just for schools, but for all public places. That was the issue that he had with how that was being enforced. It was not gone. It did not go through the proper channels. It did not include all of the representatives in the process, and so therefore you bypass the will of the people. And that is what Judge Rademacher ruled unconstitutional. So this has nothing to do with whether or not masks work. This has nothing to do with whether or not the science is there or the experts said this or the CDC said that. None of those arguments are relevant in this case. And I would urge anybody who's weighing in on this case or wants to weigh in on this case or share an opinion on social media on this case to do what Chad LaVeglia, do what Judge Rademacher has shown we should be doing and attack the process. Because if this process is legitimized, if this stay is not removed today, then any governor, Republican or Democrat, any governor, because Republican or Democrat will be able to legislate by regulation, and that is a very scary, very, very scary situation in the state of New York if that was to become the new norm.
And guys, real quick, I'm sorry. I said this judge was put on the bench by Patterson. I meant during Patterson.
I think he was appointed by David Patterson.
No, state judges are elected.
I thought it said appointed on his profile.
Well, there may have been a vacancy that Patterson got to appoint, but state judges are elected.
Let me see.
Either way.
No, appointed. There it is.
Appointed.
Associate Justice, Appellate Division, 2nd Judicial Department, appointed by Governor David Patterson, December 21st, 2010.
Yeah. Maybe just a local. The judges are weird.
Some of the local judges you see them elected.
The Honorable Steve Palutsky. I know you're in the chat right now, but you're awesome.
So
I meant the process is strange with judges.
He was elected. So here it is. He was elected in November of 2007. As a justice of the Supreme Court in the 2nd Judicial District in Brooklyn. And then he was appointed to the Appellate Division by David Patterson in 2010.
So here's the thing is that, guys, if you attack the process by which this was put in place and not the mandate itself, it removes emotion from it.
Correct.
So I'll give you another example. Recently we talked about Roe versus Wade, right? When you heard us talk about Roe versus Wade, you never heard me discuss whether or not I thought abortion was moral or immoral. Because that's not what the argument about Roe versus Wade is about. It's about the process in which it went through. It's a bad law, regardless of how you feel about the act legalized in Roe versus Wade. So it doesn't matter what you feel about abortion. Roe versus Wade is wrong legally, just as this is wrong legally. It doesn't really matter what your opinion is on the topic that is being mandated. It's the process in which the law was put forth. And when you attack the process, it removes emotion from the argument, because you can say that this was never voted on. Right. This was never brought to a vote. So how can it be legal? And then people can look at you and they say, "Oh, well, I guess that's true." I mean,
that's true.
Do you really want a governor just ruling on high? I know. I don't want any. I don't want it. I wouldn't want Ron DeSantis ruling on high. That's why he brought everything to the floor and he brought it to a vote. That's the way the process is supposed to work.
Well, it's great. I was having a conversation yesterday over at Riverhead with a student because I'm not afraid to talk to people and have a discussion. Some of the students' friends were not nice. They were being weird and screaming and not having an intelligent conversation. And I went up to one of them and I said, "Listen, man, I want to actually talk to you and understand your perspective so that we can stop yelling at each other." And he said, "I don't care about having a conversation with you," and basically told me to go F myself. The kid did. And I said, "Okay, whatever, that's fine. I remember being a kid, whatever. He doesn't want to talk. Whatever." But there were two of them yesterday that I did have a conversation with outside of Riverhead High School. And, you know, I was excited to go have a conversation. And one of these students was talking about, you know, Kathy Hochul, and I said, okay, this is perfectly fine. And I said, you know, the reason why there's a lot of people who are upset about the masking things is that it was not passed the way a law is supposed to be passed. And we talked about the representative system, and the student had said to me, she had said, well, you know, that's why we elected Kathy Hochul to do that. And I said, well, that's the issue. We didn't elect Kathy Hochul. She was appointed. And she was appointed by the former governor, who was basically fired, ran out of office because he was inappropriate. And she actually had said, well, that's an issue if Kathy Hochul wasn't elected. And here's all I said to her. I said, listen, you're going to have a voice on that issue in 10 months. And I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. I am going to tell you, though, you're going to have a decision to vote for somebody who was never elected governor on both ends of the ticket. You're going to have a Democrat who was never elected, who was just governor, ruling through like regulation, and you're going to have a Republican candidate who was never elected governor, but hopefully will be elected governor.
Whose name Lee Zeldin.
Whose name is Lee Zeldin. You know, but we had this conversation with the kid, and she was actually saying, hey, you know, look, I was blown away because she said it and her friend said it, that they're not against having choice. I said, what's the point with nobody here wants to ban anything? I don't want to ban masks. I don't want to ban vaccines. I want to ban the mandate, right? I want to ban the requirement. If it's 100, why must, if it can't be 100% outlawed, it shouldn't be 100% required. Why don't we meet in the middle and say, if you want to wear one, wear one? And she didn't disagree with me. And her friend didn't disagree with me. And honestly, it was a nice civil conversation. A lot of these kids, they just don't know better. And especially in this example, she didn't know that Kathy Hochul wasn't elected. And I'm not going to hold that against a 17-year-old. I wasn't dialed into things like that at 17.
No.
And especially when I was a liberal in high school, you know, I believed everything that was on CNN. You know, she was giving an interview to News 12 and sadly was telling News 12, well, Donald Trump told people to drink bleach. We know that didn't happen. And I sent to her afterwards, I went, look, I mean, not to make this about Trump, but he never said to drink bleach. I really would encourage you to look up and find me the video where he said, hey, drink bleach. He never said that. She said, well, you know, a lot of his supporters wound up doing that. I said, no, you're wrong. I know a lot of his supporters. None of my friends, none of the people I've met through Loud Majority, none of the folks that watch us around the country, I don't know anybody who drank bleach because of Donald Trump.
No, because we all know that drinking bleach
is bad for you.
It's bad for you. There was one idiot, I think she was in Arizona, with the fish tank cleaner, but I'm pretty sure...
She was trying to kill her husband.
I'm pretty sure she was just trying to kill her husband.
She was.
Like, you know, and then blame Donald Trump, which, you know, in fairness, what?
No, I'm just saying, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, look, she tried to kill her husband and then blame Donald Trump, which, you know, it's a defense.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but it was so ridiculous. But the left-wing media ran with it. Oh, well, he said chloroquine, so she saw the word on the fish cleaner and drank it. It's Trump's fault. It's like, no,
well, that's another
because
thing.
When someone tells me alcohol, right, I don't take a bottle of rubbing alcohol and just like that's not what I do. It's different.
It's the same thing with the Joe Rogan with the horse dewormer.
Yeah.
You know,
horse paste.
No, and you know,
boy.
This is what else is important to understand about context, that the headlines of articles don't ever show, okay? So the ICUs are being overrun. Now we know that isn't true. So what they'll say is that ICUs are running at 75, 80% capacity. What they don't tell you is that ICUs are made to run at 60% capacity.
Right.
At what point in this universe did people assume that there's never a person in the ICU? Mm-hmm. You think they just set up hospital wards just in case there's a global kerfuffle out there? Like, you think there's just hospital wards set up just in case somebody has some bat soup somewhere? Oh, I don't know if we're allowed to say bat soup. That's culturally insensitive.
What words are you coming up with? Kerfuffle. I mean, I've heard of it.
Yeah, like, you know. Hey. So the ICUs have 10% more people than they normally do. Okay.
Yeah. The problem is they have like 10% of the nurses they normally have because they're getting fired for vaccine mandates.
That's why they're over capacity. That's why they fired half the damn nurses.
They may not be over original capacity, but they may be unable to attend to what they're doing because there's not enough nurses left.
It turns out when you fire 8%, you know, and it's so funny. I love hearing these idiots on television say, you know, we have 99.6% of hospital workers vaccinated. That's because you fired all the people who weren't. That's like when Larry David, a.k.a. Bernie Sanders, you know, Cuba. Oh, wait. They have 100% literacy rate.
Remember me?
And And I'm sitting on the couch going, yeah, Cuba has a 100% literacy rate because Castro killed all the people who couldn't read. That's literally the exact same thing as saying, everyone in our country is over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, because you killed all the midgets.
Because you killed all the little people, which not a fan of because,
Listen.
I'm down there.
Vertically challenged.
What are you gonna...
But I say, it's the same thing.
See, I almost just had a locals moment.
It's the same thing. It's so funny. Cuba is the Bernie Sanders and the socialists out there defended socialism by citing a literacy rate that was high because of a genocide. That's how you know you're losing the battle.
Exactly.
And that's how you know when you go take.
There's no tall people in Rwanda. Yeah, because over the course of 90 days, you killed like 1 million of them.
Yes, they all said cut the tall trees.
Cut the tall trees
in Hotel Rwanda, which is a crazy story.
It's a the funny part about, not the funny part, the ironic part about that genocide is that there's literally two, and this just shows you how easily it is to divide people. The Hutu and the Tutsi in Rwanda, I really went down a rabbit hole on this one. Literally, the only difference between them is that one of them is generally taller.
And had a darker shade of skin.
And were slightly dark. Well, I think they were taller and lighter.
Yeah. Taller and lighter
were
one of them, and they
were
getting
just mowed down
because they were too light.
I mean, in fairness, it's time for short people to rise up.
Listen, Shorties United, right?
Yeah, and they did it all with machetes, so this wasn't like an easy thing. All right.
You know what that just reminded me of? I said Shorty. Remember that song?
I think Don Cheadle won an Oscar for that.
Remember that song by Ayaz? Shorty's like a melody in my head. Remember that?
I couldn't even tell you.
That I can't keep out. Got me singing like na every day. My iPod stuck on replay. Remember that song? Yeah. That's what I said. Shorty, so it got stuck in my head. My mind is mush.
I had no idea who sang that song.
Ayaz. But you guys were on the Disney
Channel
all the time.
Yes, Darlene. We are low to the ground.
Low to the ground. Low to the ground is okay. That means low center of gravity, harder to knock over. You know that as a former running back.
Absolutely. You might catch me, but you ain't bringing me down.
And then bringing it down. It's a tough.
Take that.
Running back and wrestler. So you know something about his.
Take that, Antifa. Come take me down.
I will say, maybe not as good as you were back in the day because I see you fall a lot. I see you fall. Hey, locals, we're gonna have to get some cuts of us falling and bloopers. And
usually
crazy stuff.
Fall. Usually at this point I fall getting up.
We just hear Kevin walking and then like, Kevin, all right? Yeah, I'm down again.
Turtle on his back in the rain.
Don't.
Guys, we've had a very serious week, so we are having a very unserious
We're having
Friday
some fun this morning.
But, guys, as always, Van is here.
Vanna.
LoudMajorityUS.com. Hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. Hit the like button on Facebook. Make sure you hit the follow. We're like right there. We're right there.
So close.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing
19 point.
That 19 point. I want to see the 20.
A big, beautiful 20 and a big, beautiful K.
So make sure you guys hit that follow button. Go to it's a little flag. That'll be your page invite button. Not that I know some of you aren't following because I can see your names and I've already invited you.
Deleted.
So make sure you guys hit that little flag on your Facebooks and go like Long Island Loud Majority. Help us get to 20,000 so that I can stop complaining.
Yes, I would like to have him stop yelling in my ear about this. It's so annoying. We gotta get to 20,000. We're trying so hard.
I'm fixing. First off, you just sounded like someone else that I do not sound like.
You sound like that a little bit.
And I'll wait for him to.
Oh man. So anyway, I want to bring it back to the stay, and we're waiting on the decision. We hear that the live stream of the court case today is going to be probably inundated with traffic, so I wouldn't anticipate it being easy to view. So let's just keep in mind that we're going to be all stressed out at 10 o'clock. We're waiting for those words, and when we find out about it, we will go live. I do have a podcast that I have to record with somebody at noon, but hopefully we know about that ruling before then. We'll go live quick. We'll party throughout the rest of the day if we win this day. If we lose this day, we've got rallies and whatnot that we're planning Monday, the 31st in Albany, and I know there's other folks that want to do some stuff on the road here. The court case is supposed to be heard at 10, and again, this case has everything to do with process, nothing to do with the science or the data, which is a good thing, because outside of this ruling, outside of masks and schools and all of that, this is a major ruling in the history and the future of New York State. Because if this is struck down and it is deemed illegal and unconstitutional to legislate through regulation, then we, the people of New York, will have won a groundbreaking landmark case, because what that would essentially force is any new regulations that are going to be treated as law will have to go through the state legislature, and that does two things. Number one, it actually legitimizes the process. Okay, but number two, it puts your representatives on record. It brings you back into the equation. You can now make your calls to your senators, your state senators, and your assemblymen. You can make your calls to your local leaders to try and stand with you. You can actually get back involved in the process to steer this ship the way the people are supposed to steer the ship that is government. If they don't give us that ruling, you're out of the process. There's nothing you can do. Right now, you can call your assemblymen, you can call your senators, but they're not voting on this. So it's important today to stress the process, and it's important today that if we do win this day, we won on the merits of the process alone. This has nothing to do with the science, nothing to do with the data. Those arguments don't really belong in this case right now. It's all about the process. It's all about the constitutionality of it, because if we win, we stay free. If we don't, we're very, very vulnerable, and it's going to take probably getting Zeldin in there and passing legislation to eliminate emergency powers, which is the most temporarily permanent thing I've ever seen in my life. And look, what a joke.
There's a very famous saying among lawyers that when you have the law on your side, you bang the law.
Right.
When you don't have the law on your side, you bang the table.
Correct.
Don't bang the table.
Don't bang the table. That's
Hit
great.
the law. Ted Cruz says it all the time, which, whatever. But however you might feel about him. But that's what has to happen. We have to keep hitting the law because the law was violated. I'm not, like I said, this is not to take away from the fact that putting masks on these kids is definitely child abuse, and I feel awful for them. And to see those kids at the Dennison building running buck wild. There was one kid. To watch some of those kids just be kids, man.
We were standing on top of the hill, and they were really just rolling down the hill, having so much fun.
It looked like
recess.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
When kids were out playing around. There was one kid doing somersaults down the damn hill.
He was
I was like, I would never get up again.
Yeah.
At that point, I thought about doing it with him because it looked really fun. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
But
honestly, I love it.
We can, if this stay is upheld or overturned, if it goes our way, I think it will be.
I think
legally.
So.
I
think we have this on the merits and the law. I really do.
I really think we have it on the merits and the law.
I really do, because when you look at the process, you look at the government legislating by regulating, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. And when you take the emotion out of it, you're dealing with a strictly logical, strictly legal, strictly constitutional argument. We're not
emotion.
And that's why Chad LaVeglia, Michael Demetrio, and the plaintiffs in this case, that's why they are taking it and going in straight on process. That's how they got that ruling from Nassau County Supreme Court Judge Rademacher, because of the process. The process was so flawed that the Supreme Court deemed it necessary to say, no, this cannot be allowed, because if it's allowed, it's a precedent. And if it's a precedent, then it can happen again in the future, and they can just cite this. And we can't let that happen, because that is a real threat to democracy.
Absolutely.
That's your threat to your liberty. That's your threat to your freedom. If this stay is upheld today, and then the appeals process in 30 days, because look, the mandates, the public mandate expires February 1st. The school's mandate expires February 15th. If we lose today on the stay, we have to pursue getting this overturned and deemed unconstitutional anyway. Because if we lose in 2022, or God forbid we win in 22, and then eventually it turns back over to a Democrat, because let's be honest, these things go through ebbs and flows. We don't want to have another Democrat governor in here going back to 2020's precedent or 2021's precedent and saying, well, they dropped that case, so we're just going to create another public health emergency, let's say guns, and come up with all sorts of other crazy rules and regulations, and not have it go through the legislation and you get trampled again.
And here's what else is important, that as far as the New York State legislature goes, it is like the federal
very similar.
It is like it very similarly. However, because of the way New York is, just the demographics and the city, it's very difficult to win back the assembly. Normally, the best that can be hoped for is a governor and a Senate, where we have won the Congress and the Senate and the presidency all at the same time.
Right.
And then not been able to be stopped on what we want to do.
Correct.
It is very, very difficult very difficult to win back the assembly, just because of the way the districts are drawn up, and it's kind of convoluted. But because there's so many assembly districts, it makes it a lot smaller. The city has outsized power. Syracuse, Buffalo has outsized power. Albany has outsized power in the assembly, and that's good because we don't want a single-party rule, but it's bad in the sense that if we lose this on the merits, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to wait for Zeldin to come back in and then hope that that the assembly joins us in what we're doing here.
In what we're doing. Really,
I kind of hate that sentence.
No, you did fine. You explained it. You explained it in a way, and I think that's what I
like
honestly.
John Madden.
I don't want to. I don't. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, John. But I think that's something that is interesting about what we're doing too, and not to toot our own horn, but I mean, we went on. I went on Monday night to talk about the stay order, to talk about the ruling. Tuesday night, all day with Heather and you came on Tuesday night as well. Wednesday night, yesterday, just over and over and over again, because I want to get you guys the information. We want to give you, our followers, our supporters, the information, because when you're armed with info, especially info like this that's as rock solid as what we have, you can't lose. And so we're excited, to continue to be that voice for you, to continue to get that information for you. We appreciate all the support. I mean, we go live, we see 800 people watching Tuesday night. That was insane. You know what I mean? Those were numbers that we were getting pre-election, and with a much larger group and a much larger, in consolidated in one area. So, we want to continue to do that for you. If you continue to trust us, we really appreciate that. We're honored by that. And we're excited to kind of be that voice that you or that source that you can kind of turn to, when News 12 isn't covering what you wanted to cover, or Newsday doesn't have it, or in the local, or the big affiliates, ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, are covering statewide news, and you want to learn something hyper local, we got you, and we'll tell you the real truth. The whole know before you go. I'm sorry, News 12, but if you keep underestimating our numbers and you keep crapping on our parents, and you keep discrediting the children that are standing up for themselves, then you're going to lose. You're just going to lose, and we're going to be the new voice of Long Island, and we really want to help upend the fake news on the micro level, on the local level, and we're going to do that with your help, and we really appreciate it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Speaking of which, 850 loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for this big, beautiful, wonderful newsletter. Going to put that together for you after the show. We're going to be waiting anxiously, pins and needles, for the ruling on the stay. Stop the stay. We're excited about it today. Stop the stay.
Stop the stay.
And YouTube.com. A lot of people watching on YouTube today. YouTube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Please hit the follow button and turn those notifications on. LoudMajorityUS.com, as you know. Head over to there and sign up for that newsletter. Head over to the shop. Pick up one of these beautiful hoodies. These are fantastic. And we'll just be waiting for you.
Every time one of you grabs those hoodies, just know that somewhere out there, Heather is yelling at me.
Heather is yelling at Kevin.
Which, okay. Mm-hmm. She yells at me all the time.
I'll eat those words, though.
She yells at me a lot.
No problem. So, 850, and let's just talk about one thing that's kind of screwed up out there. How about that? We're gonna talk. Look at these pop. Here we go. Here comes my vent about pop-ups now, because I can't take it. What happened here? Anyway, we're going to talk about Joe Biden and how he's clearly a racist. And, it's pretty interesting to just keep finding stories like this about it. Joe Biden, obviously, there's a Supreme Court vacancy.
First off, if you guys go outside right now, you can actually see the bus that Joe Biden threw Stephen Breyer in front of.
Yes.
Wow. Way to just tell this guy, we don't really want you anymore.
Don't cross the street with Joe Biden. He will throw you under the bus.
Before we get into this racist crap, watching Stephen Breyer talk after Joe Biden, Stephen Breyer is 5 years older than Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. And this man's got all his faculties. He's out there. He's probably cooking carbonara at his house. This guy's got everything. And then there's this dead guy, Joe Biden, who's telling him that he's too old to be on the court. Stephen Breyer should have turned around and been like, hey, Joe, kiss my ass.
So, Sleepy Joe is nominating a new Supreme Court justice, and I know a lot of people are freaking out, but this doesn't change the makeup of the court, so it's not that big of a decision. I mean, obviously, every Supreme Court justice is a big decision, but this doesn't change the makeup of the court, but I think we should have an issue, because clearly the only qualification, or the biggest qualification that matters here in this decision is skin color. He says he's going to nominate a black woman.
In no universe could I ever imagine that a president could just openly go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to violate federal civil rights law, and no one's going to care. At what point did it become okay to go, you know what, I'm just going to exclude 94% of the population?
So here, I mean, insane.
That not okay. There was one woman on CNN, I forgot what her name is, and I'm probably never going to know it because she's not worth remembering. But she was like, it's so great to see someone on the court who finally looks like me. And all I thought to myself was, in what universe do I need a 5'6" chubby guy on the Supreme Court to accept the validity of the court? In what universe do I need that? Like, why does someone have to look like you? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
And my favorite is how all the people out there that are talking about we need more black voices on the Supreme Court. We need more black voices on the Supreme Court. Well, there's Clarence Thomas sitting over there going, "Hey guys,
hello.
Remember when you forgot about me?" And by the way, Joe Biden, let's play a little game here. All right, just to prove that you're not a racist piece of crap and an ideologue, and all you care about is getting the correct numbers. You want a black woman on the Supreme Court? Nominate Candace Owens. Let's just see what happens there.
Yeah.
All right. Nominate Winsome Sears. Down in Virginia. Can't do that.
Can't do that.
I mean, you know. So it's not about. I would love to see Joy Behar's face. It's like
that
when
stupid squishy head.
Every time I see her,
I pop.
It's like the face you make when like the milk is like 1 or 2 days old.
It's the noise too. Remember when she said that CBS's Brian Ross, when he crashed the stock market, and she went, and we're being told that Michael Flynn was directed to make contact with the Russians, and it was a fake story, and the market crashed, and she wasn't held accountable for that. And she just lost a lot of people a lot of money that day. That pig, I can't stand her.
It drives me nuts that she got to teach kids in my
Did I say
school.
pig? I'll do a Mark Levin. Are we allowed to say that, Mr. Producer? I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know, Rich Valdez. I know you're in the chat. Let me know.
Oh, Rich Valdez, Mr. Call Screener on the
Mr.
Mark
Call
Levin
Screener.
Show. We love you, Rich. You're the best. We are 5 minutes from closing here, so I'm going to read you what Joe Biden said about the Supreme Court justice pick here, and this is his quote. Quote, and I'm sure this is edited because he got through this without right? So that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view. I made that comment during the campaign for president. He said before that, while I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be some of the extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. Well, that's not English, so he butchered that one. But what he's saying is he's going through this long, rigorous process, and qualifications matter. And then right after that, he says that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. So you're taking anybody who's white but qualified, Hispanic but qualified, Asian but qualified, Middle Eastern, whatever you want to say, but qualified, right? Any of those people are immediately out. It's only going to be a black woman. That seems to me like some sort of prejudice, racist, civil rights violation in some regard.
Someone should just sue the administration just out of principle and say, I was denied this because of my skin color.
Because it's true. He just said it. He just said it.
He just openly said that you can't be on the Supreme Court if you're anything but a black. Hell, a black guy should sue.
Yeah, black guys.
Black guys.
Anthony Rodia.
But that is when the ground freezes and you cannot see. By the way, if anyone knows Anthony Rodia, the comedian,
so funny.
Could you get him in contact? He's based as hell, and I want him on this show because he's hilarious.
Yeah, it would be incredible to get him in there.
It's the black guys.
Uncle Vinny.
Oh,
he's so funny.
Uncle Vinny and Zia Lucia.
Them. Who said them?
Who's it them?
The black guys. The black guys. I said the black guys.
That's so funny. That's so.
That dude's amazing.
We got to put on the heat. My Fufalina is freezing.
So we have You're president of the United States, making a Supreme Court pick, doing it based on race. Nobody seems to have a problem.
No one cares.
I think this is egregious, honestly. I think it's setting an awful precedent. Again, it gets back to the argument, instead of equity, equality, instead of, handing things out and taking from the top to give to the bottom, why don't we earn things on our merits? It gets back to the old JetBlue argument. We're going to hire more black pilots. No, I think you should hire more good pilots. I don't think it cares whether I don't care. The plane doesn't care. The air doesn't care. I'm sure God doesn't care that your plane is being piloted by somebody with a different skin color than yours. Do you hire good pilots or bad pilots? If you hire bad pilots, I'm not going to fly on your airline. If you hire good pilots, I am. I don't care if they're black, white, yellow, or anything.
There is a certain percent of the population out there who I can, and they all live in Williamsburg, who I can genuinely imagine The plane is going down. The oxygen masks pop out. And all they're saying is, well, at least the pilot was black.
Right, yeah. They're like, at least we're going down in a diverse aircraft.
We're going down in a diverse aircraft because we had a trans little person hand me my peanuts. What are we doing here?
8:57. We're getting very close. Okay, let's go back one more time to stress the...
Is that Brian Lenz?
Yeah, that's where?
Brian
yes, that
LT.
is Brian Lenz, yes.
Yeah, of course you're still here.
Brian Lenz is still here.
We can't get rid of you.
We love you, Brian. And
you and your damn Photoshops.
One thing... Yeah, well, Mr. Bumblebee over here. I'm going to go on this article in LowHUD, and it's going to be in the show notes, a couple articles about the stay, and I just want to reinforce it and stress this, that Rademacher was ruling on a case brought by several parents against Hochul and State Health Commissioner Dr. Mary Bassett on behalf of all school children in the state, seeking to have the mask mandate thrown out. In his ruling, Rademacher wrote that he was not questioning or taking a position on the efficacy, need, or requirement of masks as a means or tool in dealing with the COVID-19 virus. Again, he was only commenting on process. Rather, he wrote that the mask mandate was not properly enacted. Important, not properly enacted and cannot be enforced. The decision said that Hochul did not include the mask mandate in an executive order because the state legislature would not allow it. So she had the state health department. Now, that's important. Hochul did not include the mask mandate in an executive order because the state legislature was not on board, which means to me, if this thing goes to the state legislature, it's getting shot down.
Because everyone knows Kathy Hochul is a lame duck.
Yeah.
She wasn't. She was appointed by a guy who
sucked.
Who left in disgrace.
Sucked.
She's a lame duck.
Yeah.
So they know that right now she could take all the heat in the world because she's not going to win anyway.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people that have been in the governor's race in the Democratic primary. A lot have dropped out. Swazi dropped out. Letitia James isn't doing it. Big Bird, who killed.
He dropped out, but was he ever really in?
I don't know.
De Blasio, come on now.
Yeah, something tells me Bill de Blasio has been asked that question several times in his life. Hey, are you in yet?
Rademacher says here at the end of his ruling, the court, quote, the court cannot find any law enacted by the state legislature that specifically gives the Department of Health and its commissioner the authority to enact the law. And that is what I want to end with, because that is the process. There is no mechanism, none in this state's laws, that gives the health department or the governor the power to do what they've done with the mask mandates. Judge Rademacher pointed that out. Chad LaVeglia pointed that out in the case of Demetrio versus New York State Health Department. We see that the process is on our side. We see that the process by which this was done was unconstitutional, was illegal. The morality of this is not important right now. It's important on the grand stage, but right now we have to attack the process, because if we make this process illegal, all of those fears about new regulations and new quote-unquote pseudo-laws being enacted through SAPA, that process will also be deemed illegal. They won't be able to do it. They won't be able to get away with it. It will be a massive win for us today and going forward. If we win this decision, folks, this goes much further than schools, and it will be an incredible thing to celebrate. And I think we have a great chance, and I'm looking forward to it. If we get that ruling, just celebrating with all of you. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope there's no foul play and funny business. You never know in this state, but it's 9:00 and we got an hour to go till the hearing starts. So why don't you, Vanna White, go after this one more time, unless you got anything else?
No, I'm pretty much good, guys. Make sure you head over to loudmajorityus.com, sign up for that newsletter, check out the shop, help support the movement.
Yeah, baby.
And guys, if you can go and hit that damn follow button on Facebook, because we're like 80 away right now. You guys you're fantastic.
You're fantastic. You're incredible,
Make sure you guys
people.
Smash that like button, hit subscribe, share this video out with your friends. Loud Majority on Instagram, the Loud Majority on Instagram,
Getter.
Loud Majority on Getter.
No, the Loud Majority on Getter, at Loud Majority on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check out the locals page, guys. Loud Majority at loudmajority.locals.com. There's way too many for me to remember. Because right now, all I've got is Miami on my mind. I'll be singing Will Smith in the airport.
All right, folks. So you know what the 4 words that we say to the people in power until they get it or get the hell out of the way. You know it. And we're going to shout it all over the place. Let me see the chat fire it up and get going. Those 4 words that we say to our tyrants, to Kathy Hochul, to the health department, to anybody who steps in our way. You see it happening in the chat. Instead of we do not consent, We will not comply. Thank you, folks. God bless you. It's been a pleasure this whole week coming to you live from the America First Media Campus. Obviously, we're going to be transforming things here on Long Island and statewide very soon with all of you guys on the ride. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you. God bless you. And until next time, or until we go live again later today to talk about the decision, because one way or the other, we're going to be talking about it.
Something tells me you're going to see Sean in about 2 hours.
Yeah, you'll see me in a couple hours. We're going to be talking about it, so thank you so much. Until then, folks, stop complying. You know it. To stop complying with the unlawful mandates. And on behalf, I faded to black too early. Stop complying, folks. And, of course, stay loud.